was healed of a heart issue. Started hearing him speak to me, and then he was like, I want you to heal this lady who has an eye, and I freaked out, and I was like, is that you? And like, it
Right.
was crazy. She's just crippled with anxiety. And the look on her face afterwards,
Yeah.
we prayed. She looked at me, she was like, it's gone. I was like, yeah.
We are here. Hey, everybody. We are so excited to talk about and get ready to launch here the Behold Conference coming up this June. We are super excited about this. It's going to be amazing. We got the website up, thebeholdconference.com. You can go there. You can register. You can learn more about the conference this year. The dates are, what are the dates? Well, we'll put it in the
22 through 25.
22 to 25. So it's going to be a Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday night. And that's going to be our conference. That gives you the time to travel back. If you're a ministry or pastor or someone needs to get back for Sunday, that's going to give you time on Friday to get back. But we do have usually a big celebration on Friday night you can be a part of if you want to come. So we're here with Jeremiah Bolich. Jeremiah, where are you?
I'm out in West Texas. I will not divulge my location.
Yeah. In case someone's letting you down. West Texas is like wide open plains. So
literally,
it really is. So, well, we're talking about the Behold Conference. We just wanted to get on here and just begin to tell people about what we got this year. This year, we are actually, believe it or not, we've been really praying about Lebanon, Tennessee. We love Lebanon. We've been praying for 55,000 saved and set free here in Lebanon, Tennessee. And every year, we've had the Behold Conference here in Lebanon because we just love our city and we want it to be in our city. And it's interesting, this year we had no location. Like, I've been calling Jeremiah and I was like, I don't know, we can't find anything. We can't find anything to rent that's either in our price range or their dates are booked. Like, they just were booked. And so we just been praying. And then we felt like the Lord opened up the door for us to move into our county. So just kind of a little bit in Middle Tennessee, we have Lebanon and Mount Juliet. Those are Wilson County. And so we, this year, have really been starting to believe for our county. So we've been believing for our city, 55,000 saved and set free. But now we're starting to pray for our county, which is around 170,000 people saved and set free. And so we've been praying for our county, and then lo and behold, no pun intended on that Mount Juliet, the church there, New Tribe, Pastor Jared Smith, gave us the opportunity to use their building this summer. And so we are so pumped about the Behold Conference because this year it's going to be in Mount Juliet, which literally is the next town over. It's literally 10, 12 miles that separate Lebanon and Mount Juliet, but it's the same county. And so we are super excited about Behold Conference. We want you to come. We want you to be a part of this. We want you to come check the coffee house in the morning and then head over to the conference. And so, Jeremiah, tell them a little bit about the Behold Conference and just what they can expect.
Well, I've been thrilled to watch it develop because, as you've been saying, we started just in an upper room above, I think it was a construction office or something.
It was
something like that. So it was, I think 15, 20 people, and the Lord just kept pressing us and it kept growing. And then, of course, I'm on the road. So you and Brooke and the team really did the lead work on this. And, kind of watching you guys as you're hosting and running everything, and just I'm lucky enough to get to speak at it and pour into it. But I watched you guys as the Lord began to grow Lebanon House of Prayer, and as you said, it's moved to, it feels like it's moved to a county because you for a while you connected with all the churches, and then you begin to connect with Nashville and Mount Juliet and Murfreesboro, and that's when you met Jared, and found that like he shares the same kind of concern and DNA for the area, for the region, the message. And it's a really unique thing to find a guy that, operates in the Holy Spirit and yet's grounded in the word. And I couldn't believe it because he used the word and spirit. I'm like, that's my terminology.
I know. Wasn't that crazy?
I mean, that's mine. Right.
I know.
And we'd never met. And so when I met him immediately, just there was this connection and like, I can't wait. It's going to be huge this year, especially. It's going to be different because, in the past we've had a great crowd. And we've never been obviously pushing for numbers or anything like that. But this year, honestly, I think we'll be I think you're going to need to register. It's
Yeah.
going to get to the point where we're going to have to
Yeah.
cap it at 1,000 or whatever. And
Right.
and so, but the message of word and spirit, we are grounded in the scriptures. We're being led by the Spirit.
I love that.
And man, when there's just special things that happen at the Bowl Conference, people get set free. There's just deeper levels of intimacy. I love
Yeah.
it, bud.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I love it too. I'm so excited about it. I love what you said there, that we're grounded in the word, right? But we're led by his
Yep.
spirit. And that's been a
Yep.
big shift
Yep.
for you, right? A big shift. I know that you've been traveling and people have been saying, hey, like you said, we've known each other for, I don't even want to say, because
Ever.
then people will be like, you guys are old. But we've known each other a long time. And there's been a big shift in your life, right? Like people say, man, you're different. What's happening? And people have been coming to me and been like, hey, describe what's happening to Jeremiah. And I say, well, the Holy
Yeah.
Spirit is really beginning to lead. And like you're so grounded in the word, like the word's in you. Like you're one of the best
Yeah.
teachers I know and know the word backwards and forwards, right? But you're being led by that spirit. You've been led by the Spirit. And so you've had some crazy things happening at your revival, like where you're seeing people get
Yeah.
freedom, you're seeing people get
Oh,
saved, you're seeing
so
whole things break
yeah,
open.
maybe I could share about the girl that happened
Yeah.
this last week. So
Yeah.
in the
Tell
lobby,
us.
but to give you a background, yeah, I had I've always loved the Lord. I've been preaching forever. This year's 31 years on the road.
That's
It's
crazy.
exhausting just to say,
Yeah,
you know. And of course, first couple of years was through college, but we were traveling, missing class, and
I remember that.
you know,
Getting
oh, that's
demoted in
crazy.
class from A to C because
Oh
we
my
missed so many
word,
classes.
yes. Oh, yeah, I had 19 absences in Dr. Wine's class. I'll never
I think I
forget
had
it.
17. I was
I sat before him and the chair of the religion department. I was like, "Listen, I'm still coming to the school, right?" So, but I've been traveling,
yeah,
since the moment I got my call, and so I love the Lord. I've been preaching the word, and very grounded under, some, very, very, word centered, just biblical preachers. And just that's the group I ran with. But
yes.
2018 had this encounter with the Lord, was healed of a heart issue.
Mm.
And I just couldn't believe it. Started hearing him speak to me. And then he was like at his service and he was like, I want you to heal this lady who has an eye. And I freaked out. And I was like, is that you? And like, it
Right.
was crazy.
Yeah.
And then it just blew up over the last year. And now it's, I realized that it looks a lot like this season looks a lot like it was in the New Testament. So I'm at
Yes.
this revival this week. This is hilarious. I'm at this revival this week. People are getting saved, and it's just a really good week. It's just been a really good week. And I'm out in the lobby. Most people have left, and there's this 4 or 5 families there, kind of around my table doing things. And but one family, um, I didn't see the mom, but he's got like 5 kids, and it's a dad, and he's got this daughter that's probably early 20s, maybe late teens, and she's just crippled with anxiety.
Mm.
And when I looked at her, I could sense she was super uncomfortable in the crowd and loves the Lord, had her Bible, had like
Mhm.
my daily declarations book with her, and I said hi, and she was just like, really tense. And her dad was like, "Can you pray for her? She's crippled with fear and anxiety. She can't talk in class. She has trouble going to school. All these things." And I was like, 100%. I looked at her. I said, I said that doesn't come with living as a child of God. You don't have to live like we can get rid of that.
Yeah.
And I said, "Do you care if I pray with you?" And she was just kind of like,
Mm.
yeah. And her dad came around, and when I came around her and I put my hand like in her upper back by her neck, just kind of a fatherly thing just
Yeah.
came by. And when I put my hand on her, started to pray, dude, she started, and like
Mhm.
squiggling, and it was just depression,
Yeah.
and told it to leave, and she was set free. And the look on her face afterwards,
Yeah.
we prayed. She looked at me, she was like, "It's gone." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
This is
that's how
normal.
that works. Tell
Yes,
it to leave and it leaves." So
it is.
like
And you
this is
walk in
it's
authority.
becoming yes. And I used to be so scared of that, like,
Right.
in my little word group, like because we never saw it. But we've clearly entered into
Mm.
days where, you know, God is just he really the good news of the gospel is not that I just get to go to heaven.
Right.
I get to be free right now. Like we're salt and light. Like
Yes.
people are supposed to want what we have.
That's it.
That's the good news.
That's the good news.
And that's what I'm given. That's what we're given. That's what I'm
Right.
given every week on the road. That's what's going on in our city, and that's what's going to go on at the whole conference in
Oh, I
June.
love that. And when we originally came up with the name, and like you said, we were in that little construction office. I think there was like 20 people at the first Behold conference, and we were just like, "Hey, we're going to come and behold him," right? because you
Yes. Yep.
become
That's it.
what you behold, right? Like what you lock eyes with. So we're going to do this behold conference, and we're just going to lift Jesus up and behold him. And so we started invited pastors, right? Because you're like, dude, I got so many pastors who need to come to this because they're just,
Yeah. And it
they've
was free.
yeah, it was free. They're out on an island, they're isolated, they feel alone, they've been beat up by the city, whatever. And so we had pastors started coming. So the Behold conference became, hey, if you're a pastor or you want to bring your staff to this, you can bring it to the Behold conference. And then other people started coming to us and like, well, what about us? Like we want to come, right? But we're not really necessarily on staff anywhere. And we're like, well, that's fine. Like if you're hungry for more.
If you're
So
hungry.
so
Yep.
we say for the Behold conference, if you're pastor, leader, staff, ministry leader in ministry, or you're hungry for more, you can register for the whole conference. Because one thing I love about you, and you always say this, which is so good, is you always ground people to the reality of who you are, right? So you're not like,
Hmm.
well, my name is Dr. Jeremiah Bolich. I'm an evangelist. I've traveled for 31 years. You're always like, hey, dude, I'm a regular guy, just like you,
Yep.
because that we believe that, right? We believe the
Yep.
kingdom is for the body, right? Like we are part of the body. And it's not like,
Yep.
oh, well, because we have a special education or whatever that we can do this. Like, no, everybody can do this. When Jesus lives inside of you, this is the call of Christianity, right?
It's great.
And
Yep.
sure, yeah, there's people who are going to stand on a platform and maybe share or equip or things like that. But everybody is called to this kingdom, right? Like everybody's called to that. Like we're called
Yes.
to set the captives free. And that's not just ministry leaders. That's not just pastors. It's all of us. And so,
I preach. I've been sharing that.
yes,
Excuse me. This year, and really, what it is I've looked at Ephesians chapter 4, 11, and 12, and the fivefold ministry almost as a defensive apologetics of
sure.
of those five offices, if you want to call them that. So I've been looking at it in that vein, almost an apologetic, like these things still exist. But I kind of moved away from that to what's the purpose of those, which is verse 12 is to equip the body for works of service. So
Yes.
the thrust is that the pastor on Sunday morning and his ministry team, they're equippers at the
Yeah.
end of the day. It's the construction worker, it's the nurse, it's the teacher in high school that has the Holy Spirit, and is the avenue by which people captives are set free.
Yes.
And so I've been using several different passages all the way back to, my favorite is John chapter 12, 14, 12, where anyone who believes in me,
Mm.
they're going to do the things that I've been doing.
Anyone.
So I've been teaching on that.
Yeah.
Genesis 2, the beginning of chapter 2, when you have this second creation account where, there's the kind of everything's been made, and then there's no shrub of the field, there's no grass, there's no trees. Why? God has not sent rain, and there's no man to work the ground.
Yeah.
So the idea of what it means to be a minister for all of us is God is already at work. He's ministering. Everything belongs to him, but he's invited us into the family business of the kingdom. He's invited us to participate with him in ministry. And so that's not just a licensed college graduate.
Right. Yes.
That's a garbage, that's a garbage man.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal guy. They
Yeah.
give out a license to, right? So
Right. That's so good.
that's the good news. Yeah.
That's the good news of the gospel, isn't it? And so that's why
It
we want to
is.
encourage people, come to the Behold conference, right? You know, get this message and take it back to your city, take it back to your people, take it back to your
Mhm.
community, right? So it's the beholdconference.com. If you go there, you can register. We'll have a link down below if you want to register for that. We are going to have some hotels and different things that you can register at. They'll have discounts. We would love for you to check out the coffee house, come in the morning for prayer and worship. And then you'll have all the details up, the schedules up there, and everything's up there. So we'd love for you to begin to register at the beholdconference.com. We're super excited about it. We're going to continue to do some more Facebook Lives and talk about this. But get registered, and we can't wait to see you.